I believe a real estate transaction is really a life-changing event. For most, a successful closing will result in a client's ability to move forward in life wherever their specific path or future endeavor is taking them. My name is Michelle Smith, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Legacy in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm currently in my 14th year of being licensed, and in the last 2 years, I closed more than 70 million in transactions. One of my 2020 goals was to contribute more relevant information through video, so I hope you're going to join me in this goal. I plan on creating videos that are going to reflect current real-time market data, but I really want to have some fun with this, and so I've put together some tips and tricks. I have some horror stories that I'd love to share, as well as some of the funniest experiences that we've had just out in our industry in the field showing properties. My goal is to include at least one thought-provoking stat at the end of each video. If there's ever a real estate topic that you would like us to address, please leave it in the comments below and I will do so, or I will find somebody who knows more about it than I do. And so without further ado, let's get into our first video. So for those of you who know me, you know that I have this weird fascination and love for studying our multiple listing system. It's our MLS, right? So it's only suiting that my first video is going to be the 2019 year in review, all the stats that we've seen in the last year. So most of you know that we're in a pretty low inventory market here in Albuquerque. Last year, there was a decrease of 5.5% of new listings that came on the market. And so what's interesting is that even though we had a decrease of properties that came on the market, we had an increase in the number of pending sales, which were up 5.1%. We also had an increase in the total number of closed sales. Those were also up 3.7%. Our average days on market went down. So for attached and detached properties, right now we have an average of 39 days on the market. And our average sales price this year went up by 7.9%. Now, that's probably music to your ears. It's also one of the largest year-over-year increases that we've seen in more than a decade. However, I'm going to say this is just an average. So if your property is outside of the average for the area, you really should consult with either your trusted real estate advisor, or I'm always happy to answer those questions as well. And then I'm also going to address absorption rate. So our absorption rate is 1.6 months right now. And what that means is that if we continued with the current rate of buyers that are in our marketplace and we had no additional inventory come on the market, in about 6 weeks, we would completely run out of properties. And so to put that into perspective, NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, they state that a balanced market is a market in which you have 6 months worth of inventory. Anytime you have less than 6 months worth of inventory, it's a seller's market. And anytime that you have more than that, it's a buyer's market. And so I would say in general, Albuquerque is heavily a seller's market right now. And okay, as I promised, that last stat, right? So in 2019, we had a gigantic fallout rate. We had a fallout rate of 31%. So what that means is that anytime a property went into escrow, it fell out or terminated with 31% of the time. That's huge, right? So my question is that in such a hot market that we're in right now, why is our fallout rate so high? And that's a question that I will address and I will answer at the beginning of my next video. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you in about 2 weeks. Again, I'm Michelle Smith with Coldwell Banker.